Meanwhile, over in old England, we rewind the clock all the way back to the 12th century for a new drama series called Robin Hood on MGM Plus. And here's a clip.
Everything I had is gone.
And you blame the sheriff?
Who else? They rob us of our coin and call it the law. They kill our people and call it justice. And yet they call us thieves. Then let us be thieves with a purpose.
Yes, so this is a 10-part series, and when I started to watch it, it sort of almost felt like a film. It's got that kind of significance, I'd say, in the kind of the way that the scenes are set and the way it's played. But it's a 10-part series, and it stars a chap called Jack Patton as Robert of Locksley, so a complete newcomer as this young Saxon in the 12th century, and he is. We all know the story of Robin Hood, or we probably think we do. This is slightly different because you actually get to see Robin as a child. So you go back a bit further. You see the opening scenes of him with his father. You see the close relationship that he has with his father as he teaches him to shoot the bow and arrow. So there's a kind of a snapshot into something that we perhaps haven't seen elsewhere before. But he is driven to seek vengeance after his family's home is seized. And, it's pretty gruesome in places. There are some executions. You don't see it completely, but your imagination kind of runs riot. And whilst he is a newcomer, and I think actually really very good, there's some quite sort of steamy scenes between him and a girl that comes from a different background. She's the rich one, he's the poor one. They shouldn't fall in love. They do. The story is old. But you also have some really big names in this, of course, because you have Sean Bean, who plays the Sheriff of Nottingham. And I'm a bit of a fan of Sean Bean. This sort of character works really, really well for him. He's cross, he's angry, he's, as you'd imagine a sheriff to be, and kind of pompous and arrogant and all of that. And he plays this part incredibly well. So for me, it's a little bit different to everything we've seen before. So if you tell Robin Hood, you might think, well, I've seen that. Why would I want to see a remake of that? What would be the point? This, I think, goes a little bit deeper. It modernises it to a degree as well, I think, with some of the sort of more sexy scenes. The Lauren McQueen, who plays Marian, I think she does a really good job as well. I think the chemistry between her and Robin Hood is very, very good. And so, I really quite enjoyed what I've seen so far. What do you think, Ian?
Well, we've had many incarnations of Robin Hood, haven't we? From Errol Flynn to Kevin Costner, Russell Crowe, of course, the Robin Hood in Shrek, and then we had the Jonas Armstrong reboot quite a few years ago that was trying to be quite a bit more trendy and modern, and everyone was wearing hoodies, weren't they? I think this is a really good version, I must say, because I did think, another Robin Hood, really, but I think it's great. And yeah, as you say, we get the sort of backstory of Robin and his dad, basically, because it's after the Norman conquest. So a lot of the Saxon sort of nobles have been, their lands and homes have been seized, and that's what's happened to the Locksleys. And yes, as you say, Sean Bean is in it as the Sheriff of Nottingham, but he's not playing the Sheriff of Nottingham as an out-and-out baddie, like Alan Rickman absolutely camped it up and stole the show, didn't he, in the Costner version? He's just a man who is carrying out the king's orders, basically. But the nasty piece of work, the Earl of Huntingdon, who has Locksley's home and land, is played by Stephen Waddington, and who is very good at this sort of thing. It's like falling off a log for him. So yeah, we get the backstory of how the dad kind of falls foul of the sheriff and the Earl of Huntingdon and comes to a sticky end. And so it's kind of, it's fired by revenge, this story. And yes, I mean, it is, some of it's quite sexy, I would say, quite steamy. Yeah, I think it's a really good cast, and you're going to see all your your familiars like Little John and Friar Tuck. We also have Richard Linton, who was in Silent Witness for quite a long time, and he crops up as the Bishop of Hereford. Gotta say, I was pleasantly surprised. And it's not easy to put on these period dramas from hundreds of years ago and do it convincingly. I think they've done a great job.